Hello, so my name is Lauren. I'm actually a licensed clinical social worker. I do help people in the field, but I wanted to start lending my knowledge of different, somewhat esoteric topics. I wanted to start teaching this online because this is what helped me in my life and in my journey, was really just watching people on YouTube who had something different and exciting to say. So we are going to start with the fact that everything is vibration. So I'm sure some of you are here and this is completely brand new to you, and some of you may already know this and you're way surpassed it. But my best service, I find, is when I can teach people or open people's minds and eyes to things that maybe they didn't know, which in turn can just help them grow. That's really all I want to do here. So what we've been taught about reality is really not true in a sense. So reality is not, we didn't just fall here and things are happening to us and we have no control. And from there, that's really not how it is. What it is everything in the world is vibrating. If you look up quantum physics, that it's been proven. This is not some crazy thought. Everything is vibrating at a certain speed, which makes it look like it's solid. So nothing is really solid. Again, I'm not a scientist. It's pretty obvious. Nothing is really solid. This is my arm, but it's really just a bunch of vibrating particles. And whatever in my field is what is I'm holding in my vibration. So we basically, where our energy and attention goes, that's where the energy flows. So a lot of us get caught in these negative mental movies in our head, and that is kind of what leads us down certain paths. So what I want to get accomplished in this course is or not a course, the series of videos, is just opening people's minds up to the fact that in your reality specifically is in your control. I know that can be triggering and upsetting to some people, but really everything that's happening to you, for you, against you is in your control. And it's all definitely in your control, and you are creating it whether you like it or not. And the problem becomes in how do you realize what you're doing, be conscious of what you're doing, and bring that to light. So for the brunt of today, we're going to talk about some quantum particles, this double split experiment, and how this really opened my eyes up to what's going on. So a while back, a scientist did what's called the double split experiment. You can look it up, where he put a light through he shone a light through two slits against a wall, and what he realized was the particles only collapsed into real-time space when the observer was observing it. So meaning this pen does not exist unless I'm looking at the pen or unless I'm holding the pen. Our kitchens don't exist. It's just that we are so conditioned to expect that when we walk into our kitchen is there. But nothing really is here unless you are observing it. I'm sure that's very confusing. Hopefully one day I'll get better at this whole explaining thing. But basically what the double split experiment proved is that matter, reality, only comes into view if someone is looking at it. So again, my house doesn't exist. It only exists because I'm here and I believe that it exists. So everything in your life, leave a comment if you want. I'm sure the comments are going to be interesting if you want me to elaborate on something different. But everything in your life, everything in your reality is here because you are observing it. So if you wanted to experience something different, you'd have to just observe something different. So life, the reality, is just all space, particles, ions, things floating around. And the reason that we are experiencing what we are experiencing is because we are focusing on it. So if we focus on it, it brings it to life. I know it sounds kind of trippy, but it really is the truth. So there's billions of parallel realities here, and we are here everywhere at once. So my name's Lauren. There's a version of me. There's all different versions of me. And the reason I'm perceiving this version of me is because this is what I'm focusing on. So what I'm here to hopefully help teach you is that you can differentiate and change what you're looking at, and which will yield a different reality. So basically, if I were to sum it up, this is what I would say for today. Reality is just a bunch of quantum particles. Nothing is solid. It's just all particles floating around, and the only reason you're perceiving these particles the way you're perceiving them is because you are observing them. If someone was really advanced, they could observe a portion of their driveway and there would be a portion of the driveway, but our reality also has a lag time. So whatever we're perceiving, you could also think of it like this, like a movie theater. You're sitting in the movie theater and there's a movie screen and then there's the projector back here. The projector is projecting the film onto the screen. This is perfect. This is what our life is. So we are the projector and our life is the movie screen. So whatever we project onto reality, if you want to think of it as whatever the movie theater, let's say they're playing Jurassic Park, whatever the projector is playing the movie onto the screen and we're looking at the screen. So in order, if you wanted to change your life, you wouldn't go, or if you're in a movie theater and you wanted to change the movie, you wouldn't walk down the steps, go to the movie screen and start tapping on the movie screen and saying, this gotta change. No, you would go up the steps, you'd go to the back to the projector and say, listen, we have to switch this film. This is not what I want to see. So in other words, you have the power to change your reality. It's just not what we have been conditioned and taught to think. And don't get too stressed out about this, because I'm going to go into things each video and make it a little more clear. You don't have to panic. Nothing bad is happening. If you think a negative thought, nothing, it's not that big of a deal. But what's more important is that I think everyone should start realizing that they are not just some person in the wind just being blown left, right. You do have the power to change the movie screen. You just have to realize from which aspect and which part of the theater you're sitting in and where you want it to change. So again, if you're sitting in the movie theater and you go into the movie theater and you're saying, I want to go see Jurassic Park today. So you buy the tickets, you sit down, the projector goes, you're sitting, you're watching the movie Jurassic Park. Then 2 hours later, you're like, you know what, I really don't like Jurassic Park. I'm going to go see SpongeBob SquarePants. So you wouldn't go up to reality, or AKA the movie screen. You wouldn't go up to the movie screen and bang on the movie screen and say, switch it to SpongeBob. No, you would go out of the movie theater, you would go to the projector and you would switch the Jurassic Park out and put the SpongeBob in, and that would then project onto the movie screen. So guess what I'm saying is the most important thing to understand is that if you want to start changing your life or start living in a way that's in alignment for you, or what you think is in alignment to you, for you, you have to realize that the way we're going about things, or we're trying to force, again, this is the screen, that's your reality. Going up to things in your reality, let's do this. In this movie today you're playing, right? Your boss gets mad at you, you get in trouble. So you're here, you're watching the movie. On the movie screen is your boss yelling at you, okay? And you get upset, you think, oh my God, I have to change that, I have to get a new boss, we're all grappling with these, what we have to do, what we have to change, what we have to do out there. So basically, ultimately, we're saying we're gonna go up to the movie screen and shake it and try and change what's out there, but really we need to change what's in here, AKA our projector screen. So if you don't want your boss to be screaming at you, you just go back up to the projector and switch the film out. It's a lot more, that's pretty much how it is. We're going to go into detail later on how we can change the projector screen, but for now, that's really what I want you to understand, that everything is, in reality, is just particles. If you want, you can look up the double slit experiment by, I think, Thomas Young. I should verify that, but everything is vibrating, so nothing is mass. So this chalkboard is not mass. The computer screen is not mass. Nothing's mass. It's all just vibrating. And where your focus goes, aka the projector screen, that is where the energy flows, and that is what ultimately you're experiencing and seeing in the movie theater. So if you want to change the movie, you don't go up to the screen and start banging on the screen and say change the movie. You go out of your seat, you go up to the projector, and you change the movie. So that's what I have for now, but we will see you in the next one. I hope that helped, and hopefully I'll get better explaining stuff. Thanks.